a sinner, left my lover crying on the dance floor. I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to I Wani Hug a Gator. Please forgive my voice, I'm getting over being sick, so we'll see how well it goes. After going home that night, Olivia texted me all night and well into the morning. We ended up talking about all sorts of things: Mia, our art, various shows, about everything. I never seen her that excited before. For someone with sore hands, she sure types fast. And for someone that doesn't much like talking at all, she sure types a lot. I certainly can't keep up. And when she didn't want to talk, she sent more doodles and sketches. Sleep wasn't really an option on my end either. And Gut's doodle ventures were quite entertaining to read. Since then, we've been texting more every night. Not as much since I do need my sleep. But right now I'm waiting for art class to end. Mr. Triggums is apparently one of those substitutes that demands complete silence until class is over, but doesn't care beyond that. So even though I'm sitting about 2 feet away from Olivia, we're having to text each other. She's quite the storyteller with these doodles. Like right now, as I try to keep up with the tale of Guts writing a... What's he writing again? He's piloting the main golem from Gundam Finn. A giant robot from one of the shows she's been wanting us to watch together. I mean, I totally want to. Just Olivia and I sitting side by side on my couch. Maybe as we're getting tired, we start leaning against each other. I could even offer to keep her Clatter. Whoops. Catching my phone on the precipice of my desk, I see that Olivia had sent an even more detailed version of the previous Guts drawing. And this is why, for how dumb as it is, Finn is still fun to watch. Oh my god, it's Hiro Yui. This makes me happy. He's my favorite Gundam character. I don't get it. You almost didn't get your phone just now. If you'd watch it, you would. One day, maybe. Though only if it's with her. One day, yes. Ah, crap, teacher. Don't want to lose my phone. Okay. After a couple minutes, without any alerts, I accept that the Gator girl really is done for now. With a quick look at the clock on the wall, I figure I've got a few more minutes before I absolutely must hide my own phone. Latican's been out for about a week and a half, so we've been stuck with Mr. Triggums. Apparently, he doesn't like electives. I swipe back looking through the pieces she'd sent me over the last couple of hours. A lot of the references go over my head, but the few that don't earn a hearty chuckle from me. Then there's the more detailed ones. The drawings that'd be good enough to actually render. I smile as I save those. I'd been meaning to ask if she'd finish one back when she started doing this. But I never got around to it, simply saving it in a folder. A folder that's grown to a couple dozen now. Whee! Would Jeremy Clarkson please come to the office? Would Jerome Clarkson please come to the office? Thank you. The announcement makes me nearly drop my phone again. They've been going on all morning, just calling random students to the office. Woo-oo. A buzz from my phone has me check it again to see another message from Gator Girl. Never mind. Teach is acting weird today. Weird? I look at our substitute. Mr. Triggums isn't paying any attention to us. In fact, he's just kinda looking through the desk he sat at. Weird. Same here. Think it has to do with the office thing? I don't know. Was thinking it was the short day, maybe. That was another thing. I think the entire class realized something was up with how fast class periods were going today. Oh man. Look at my phone on the floor, the corner of the screen chipped away. Picking it back up before any of my classmates step on it on their way to lunch, I also just noticed that Ben wasn't here in class either. Aw. Hurry up, short day means lunch is earlier. Heading to lunch, I realize I'm actually not that hungry. Strange, but I guess it's an eternal clock thing, so I'm just so used to eating at the same time every day. Looks like I'm not the only one, as the usual war zone in the cafeteria has expanded to spill into the surrounding hallways. It's loud enough that even cover up the continued announcements. Erico, thank you. Mostly. I've gotten pretty good at weaving through the chaos relatively unscathed, but man, these guys have way too much energy. What are they even fighting about? But as always, the table in the back is left alone. Damien is chatting loudly about his day so far to Olivia, who's occasionally poking Liz across the table with a toy claw hand. Liz flails her arms around to shoo away the offending poke, but never bothers to crane her neck down from the rafters. She perks up when she sees me. You, it's Inko! Hey, what's going on at Olive Garden today? Whack his noggin. The meter stick falls on my head. Ah! Just a joke! A quip! How long did it take you to come up with that one? It was about 2 a.m. last night. Whack him again. Hey! Best $10 I ever spent. It looks a little familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it. Just like the real one, she'll bully you for saying dumb stuff. Bite me. She makes the head nod my face a little. I'll go sit somewhere else. Do it. I got a new friend right here. Ooh, wow. I have an actual friend that isn't addicted to makeup pheromones and just makes me so happy. Your ventriloquist needs a bit of work. I still think it's a little weird. Oh, live a little. Say, you guys aren't eating either? It's too early. I'll just eat when I get home. The lunch ladies don't really try on half days. Don't they not try normally? The difference makes itself known. I was out for like a week. I'm just gonna steal some of whatever Olivia makes later. Get your own. I've changed my mind. She has too much power. This is great. Olivia reaches over to gnaw on Damien again, and I snatch it out of the air. Oh no. I aim to hitch it right onto Olivia's snoot. Bullseye! It's clamped shut. The evil is defeated. While I'm giggling like a schoolgirl, Olivia uses the chance to grab the hand back. Fine, no more claw today. She hastily stuffs the plastic toy in her backpack. After some more small talk, Damien's attention wanders towards Liz, who seems to be lost in thought. Hey Liz, what's in your head? Huh? Oh, I was just thinking about earlier today. I was talking to Principal Scaler this morning while running some errands for Stutko, and she was really out of it. Out of it? Yeah, like she didn't want to be here today. I tried to pry, but she clammed up. I never seen her like that before. She must have drank bad coffee or something. I don't think that makes people sad. I can tell you from experience, it just makes you really have to. Looks like I got a text. Liz pulls out her phone, craning her head down to get a better look at the screen. It's from Ben. Come, having a student council meeting. Normally it's a bit more formal than that, I guess, since it's a half day and all. Oh well, duty calls. Sorry for having to leave you guys like this. No worries, Liz. You can catch up with me after school. Sounds good. I'll see you later then. What would you guys want to do after school? I don't know, maybe we can hang out at my place. Too cold to get in the pool, but I'm sure we can think of something. Oh, it is winter outside. I look over to Olivia, who doesn't seem to have any objections to the idea, but no input of her own. Got any ideas, Liv? We could doodle some stuff. Like charades? Yeah, make it into a game of sorts. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Then I can really wipe the floor with Olivia. Save your breath, Nito. You know my stuff. My stuff will own you in your chicken scratch. Wanna bet? Heh, that's a sucker's bet. Alright then, loser has to pay for food. Deal. We shake hands, making wager official. Would Olivia Halford please come to the office? Would Olivia Halford please come to the office? Thank you. The monotone voice in the intercom, combined with the strange atmosphere of the school, is starting to unnerve me. We all look at the Gator girl, who rolls her eyes and starts wheeling away from the table toward the exit. After she'd left, everything felt more off. Lunch came to an end and the school day was closed to the same. Just a couple more periods before we can hang out somewhere with all the extra free time. I look at Olivia's desk, still empty 5 minutes into Prockling's class. I mean, yeah, she hates this class the most, but it's really become a habit at this point. Just like how it's become a habit for me to write an extra set of notes for Olivia. I look at the 2 mostly blank pages in front of me. Like with our other teachers, I noticed something was off with Prockling. She barely says anything, instead just asking us to read the chapter on the Great War. I do just as asked, and 5 pages in, I can say without any shadow of a doubt that it was the stupidest reason for a war to break out. A bunch of European countries unhappy with being ruled by a bunch of other European empires deciding to revolt and dragging all their allies into a quagmire. I'm really struggling to make sense of the information, made worse with how outdated the textbooks are. Seriously, they're written so bad it ought to be a crime. It oozes pro-Gilded Age corporatism, the kind that genuinely believed that anything bigger than a gathering of 10 people was a form of unionism. With a sigh, I busy myself with taking notes for myself and Olivia. As I do, my eyes continue to wander the classroom. Everyone looks so as disinterested in the subject matter. I look over to Prockling, as she herself doesn't seem interested in the subject matter as well. In fact, she's just kinda staring off into space. It's highly unusual considering how much emphasis she puts on proper class focus. Yet, there she is, spacing out like she's no better than the teenagers she teaches at on a daily basis. I'm almost tempted to raise my hand and ask her a question to snap her back to reality when the room's speaker comes to life. Would Incognito please report to the office? Incognito, please report to the office. Thank you. I look up at Miss Prockling. I got called, but she's still the arbiter of who leaves her class and when. But she doesn't meet my eye at all. If anything, it looks like she's actively trying to avoid eye contact. I pack my things and shuffle out of the classroom. All the while, the stares and murmurs from the other students grow even more intense. My mind immediately begins to wander. Why am I being summoned to the office? They sure are calling a lot of people. Maybe it's related to 2 weeks ago? The only thing keeping me company on my march to the principal's office is the sound of rubber soles on tile. They must have spent a fortune on polishing these floors. It's not long before I notice another pair of footsteps coming out from somewhere ahead of me. I squint my eyes and quickly recognize the figure that approaches. It's Ben. I guess the student council wrapped up their meeting, though there's no sign of Liz anywhere. As the parasaur makes his way closer, I notice he's a complicated expression on his face. Hey, Ben, what's up? What's going on? Wrong voice, fuck. Well, at least right now I know I can do the voice. I haven't been able to do it in a few days. Hey, Ben, what's going on? He flinches as I call his name and looks around like a lost child before he spots me. We make eye contact for a few seconds, but he doesn't say anything. Everything all right, dude? Suddenly, he turns away and continues down the hall. The sinking feeling takes hold on my chest. I almost try to speak up to stop him, but can't think of anything to say. I guess I better get going. Uh-oh, someone ratted our asses out, didn't they? Aw, this is good. After another minute of walking, I reach the door to the principal's office and find it wide open. Come in. I step into the office and close the door behind me, following the source of the deep voice. I realize now that I've never seen the interior of the office before. It's fairly standard for an office. A long wooden desk, filing cabinets, a few potted plants, a couple shelves for storing all sorts of things. However, on a closer inspection, I notice things look a little more disheveled than I expected. Manila folders are strewn across the desk. One of the filing cabinet drawers hangs open, a potted plant on either overwatered or wilting. Is this really Scalar's office? Mr. Nito? My attention is suddenly pulled towards the hulking figure sitting behind the desk. I can only imagine what that office chair is going through right now. Sir, is everything all right? Have a seat, please. He motions to a small plastic chair on my side of the desk. How have you been, Inko? I oblige his request, taking a seat and trying to suppress my anxiety. I think I'm doing well. He nods to himself, holding his eyes closed. That's good to hear. The whale looks down at the open folder on his desk, taking a moment to look over some kind of documents. I have news for you regarding your instructor for AP Art Design and Photography. You mean Mr. Latican? Yes, Mr. Latican. A fine teacher if student surveys are anything to go by. He also spoke quite highly of you. Did you have a strong relationship with him? Yeah, I think so. Did something happen? My heart drops as Ferris's brow lowers ever so slightly. Suddenly, his tone completely shifts into one more clinical. Over the last 2 years, Mr. Latican has been suffering from a rare form of he's fucking sick, that originated in his vertebrae. His tone is heavy. I don't quite know what ailment he just named, like he should spit on the doctors responsible for discovering it. But the practiced movements and worn-out features are undeniable. He's by no means a fragile man, but the tiredness he tries to hide is barely concealed. Every student he's broken the news to has taken something more from him. Tensing himself slightly to be as tactful as he can, the attempted reverence is lost as he recites the scripted lines just a few too many times already. He can't muster much more than this flat citation. I don't want to read this. This analysis means nothing. I'm just distracting myself from the reality of the situation, as though prolonging the confirmation will keep it from happening. Mr. Ferris notices my subtle confusion and clarifies like he must have done a few dozen times already. Bone cancer. Mr. Latican was well advised by medical professionals about the treatment options available to him, and the district offered him a generous medical leave in recognition of his tenure here at St. Homans. He turned both of these down. The cacophony of thoughts swirling in my head makes it nearly impossible to think, impossible to focus on anything right now. All I can do is revel in it. Time passes. I'm not sure how much, but I still can't get a grip on my own mind. Ferris is calmly waiting for me to say something, but I can tell he's becoming uncomfortable. There's only one thing I can muster the will to ask. Why? The whale grimaces. I wish I had an answer. His inflection tells his own questioning thoughts. The exchange seems to give Ferris the energy to continue, however. On Sunday, Mr. Latican was hospitalized due to complications with his illness. He passed away the following morning. Olivia was called here before me. Counseling will be available for you and anybody else affected. Sorry, do you know where Olivia went? No, she didn't say. I'd like to go for now, Mr. Ferris. Yes, feel free. I stand up from the plastic chair, pushing it closer to the principal's desk. Offering one last nod to the superintendent, I let myself out of the office. As soon as the door clicks shut, I start running. Shit. Where would she go? The studio room, maybe? It's the best lead I have. Thanks to all those gym classes, I'll have no trouble getting there quickly. My new destination takes me up to the main staircase of the school and onto the second floor. It's not long before I'm staring down the hallway of Latican's classroom. I breathe a sigh of relief as I spot Olivia sat in front of the door. God, what do I even say to her? My thoughts come crashing to a halt as I see another dinosaur beside her, gesturing maniacally. Ben? From an outsider's view, it looks like Ben is trying to talk her into something. But there's such a stark contrast between their moods. I suppose Ben is mourning too, but maybe he's just handling it differently. That's the plan I have in mind. What do you think of it? Olivia? Yeah, okay. Olivia's reply came off weak and unfocused, like she wasn't talking to Ben at all. Can I count on you to be part of it? Sure. I remain obscured from view. This doesn't seem like a conversation I should intrude on. I'll just catch up to Olivia after. Honestly, I'm somewhat surprised Ben is talking to her. No, maybe that's Olivia listening to Ben. Those differences are being put aside. For once, our priorities aligned. I had thought to come find Olivia too. I wonder, Latican was a mentor to each of us. Like, he'd always be around to help us, but now? All the little things that make you anxious or aggravated are gone in an instant. And all that is left is reality. Why bother with this dramatic garbage? If now's not the time to be brought together, then when? I'm thinking too much. My hands are shivering. Something in my heart threatens to fall apart, but not now. Her voice was too quiet for me to hear, but whatever she said wasn't what Ben wanted to hear. Olivia, I need to know that you're with me on this. Yeah. Olivia? Ben kneels right next to Olivia's chair, putting the two at eye level, though she kept hers averted to the side. I need to know that you're in this fully. For fuck's sake! God, are you a fucking psychotic? There's a strange panic in the Parasaur's voice. Please, Olivia, for him. Finally, after what felt like a few minutes, despite it only being 4 or 5 seconds, Olivia looks back at Ben's face and gives him a meek nod. I'm gonna take that as a yes then. The Gator gives no other reply to Ben's words. The only sign that his words had registered in her mind were her hands suddenly yet gently shaking, all the while her claws dug even deeper into her wheelchair's armrest. Her bulwark broke at last. Seeing the droplets from her eyes drive the searing pain through my chest. My instinct drove me forward, beyond my common sense. I grip the blue boy's shoulder and pull him up. Ben! Parasaur's eyes snap up towards me. He makes eye contact with me, a depressive expression coating his face. Inko, what are you doing here? I wanted to see Olivia. Olivia's silvery eyes finally lift. The pain reflected in them threatened to shatter my aching heart. Ben looks back to see those mournful eyes too, though his reaction seems the opposite of mine, as a smile draws across his face. Inko, hear me out. I'm trying to organize a eulogy for Latican. You know, to say our goodbyes to him. He deserved it at least. Olivia, me, and you. He helped each of us out, and while the Parasaur rambles on, I turn my attention solely on Olivia. I push past Ben and take a kneel next to Olivia, now eyes level with her. Ben finally stops talking. I can feel his stare boring into the back of my head. He wants an answer for whatever he was just talking about. A eulogy for Mr. Latican. It's so surreal to think about that. To think that I spoke to him only yesterday, and today's just gone. Nope, not that. A eulogy? Yeah, It's the least we could do for Latican and his pupils. He deserves so much more, though. So much. Right, yeah. Olivia's probably feeling what I'm feeling right now. This fight between reality and emotions. Latican's gone, and I'm still trying to process it. Trying to accept the fact that I'll never see him again, or listen to him again, or get advice from him again. Never got to impress him, or show him how much I've improved because of his lessons. I don't think I'm ready to accept that he's gone. Ben clears his throat, snapping me from my stupor and back to our current situation. I'm sorry to be so pushy, but I need to know if you and Olivia are in or out. Ben turns to look at Olivia as he says those words. Olivia, meanwhile, continues to stare absent-mindedly at the wall, almost as if Ben's words were not emanating from right next to her, but a few dozen miles away instead. Ben, I don't think... Suddenly, I feel a cool, scaled hand fall on top of my own. I turn to look into Olivia's pain-stricken eyes. They gaze deeply into mine, pleading, begging to make the pain vanish. I don't know quite what I should do. I don't know if this actually changes anything in the ending. Ben's being a pushy dick. Can you give us some time, Ben? The student council president is taken aback by my words. But Olivia... His frustration with us seems to grow with each second. Ben, look, No! I turned fully to Ben with my hands raised defensively. Ben, listen. We need to do this. For Latican. For everyone that cared about him. For us. So why won't you help me? We want to, Ben, really. But can't you see that what you're asking for is way too serious? Or too soon? Both. Dick. Damn it, we just found out. His breathing is haggard now, its composure completely blown. And his own pain is painted across his face as he allows his glasses to slide away from his puffy red eyes. Just... Ben. Her voice is so soft and gentle. Her head turns back to me, her own pain still in her eyes, but also sympathy too. She looks forward and her words are more resolute. Ben, I understand. The Parasaur boy breathing hitches. You're right, we should do this, and I will. I promise I will. But it's too soon. We all need time. But. He clenches his teeth, followed by his fist. He takes a sharp, uneven breath. His glasses slide off his face and right into the floor. He's so agitated, so exasperated, and devastated that he doesn't seem to care. My free hand finds itself on my other friend's shoulder, forming a full line between us. Olivia reaches down and picks up the prescription glasses using her sleeve and smudges them cleanish. Ben struggles, his already broken composure fracturing further. His hands shake as he accepts the offered eyewear from Olivia, having great difficulty setting them back on him on straight. When he can finally look up from the floor, his eyes are even more raw with fresh pain. Your promise? Olivia nods at the quivering question, her own lips starting to shake as well. Yes, but for now Ben finally gets it, as his emotion dam is near bursting. Yeah, you're right, sorry. Ben walks up to me and pats me on the shoulder with a final solemn look at Olivia and nods towards me. He walks out of the classroom. We're outside, and leaves Olivia and I alone. As the door clicks closed behind me, I hear Olivia take a sharp and shuddery breath before turning to look at me. Her eyes are glossy and puffy on the edges. Trails of tears stain down her cheeks. and her expression is of someone who doesn't want to believe that it's true, but knows deep down that it is. As I look at her, I feel my emotions come back twice as hard. No. I need to be strong for her sake, damn it. Olivia, I try to find the proper words to say something to her. Anything that could give her a sense of comfort to ease her pain. But I feel my throat begin to tighten, like someone's hand is around my neck. I don't even notice that I'm crying until my vision becomes blurred with tears. Without thinking, I wrap my arms around the baryonyx and pull her into a hug. Olivia seems shocked at first, frozen by my sudden reaction. But then I feel a pair of arms wrap around me and hands clutching my jacket. Olivia begins to softly sob into my shoulder. I feel my own resolve break down as I hear the increasing pain in her cries. When we're like this, I can't even pretend to be the stronger one anymore. Maybe I should bear the pain of Vatican, but seeing Olivia like this, I hold on tighter. I don't want to let her go. Suddenly, she mumbles something into my shoulder. What was that? We pull apart and I look over at Olivia. Sorry about that, I didn't grab a chance to pause. Her sunken face is covered in splotches and trails of wet and dry tears. She's hyperventilating and looks like she's about to she looks like an absolute mess right now. Despite this, her eyes are fierce and lively as they meet mine. I need to do something. Right now? She doesn't respond, hurriedly rolling down the hall towards the elevator. Where would she... The fountain. The only place she could be going. I step forward to follow her, but stop. No matter how I try, I can't continue. This is Olivia's promise, not mine. I have no right to intrude into it like that. My hesitancy robbed me of any choice in the matter. She went alone. I'm a fucking idiot. Alone, in this freezing weather, while she's going through this. What the hell was I thinking? I start my silent march through the halls, out the building, and into the frozen wilderness. It's cold out, freshly starting to snow. The world just feels so much smaller, muted and colorless. Let's save it at this for the next time. Yeah, why not? Now's not the time. I must find Olivia. There's a thin tire tracks in the thinly laid on snow, patched out down the sidewalk, and I follow them. The path is serene. The falling flecks of white makes it feel like one of Olivia's landscapes. I should grab a cough drop. I'm gonna die. The fountain must be just around the corner. Oh God, I should have gone with her. Of course, the fountain is only accessible with stairs. The steps are tall and coated in a thin layer of ice. It's a death trap. Something rolls down and bumps my shoe. It's one of Olivia's handles. My face flashes with heat and my blood runs cold. Oh my God, I can't lose 2 people in one day, please. I will myself to look up. 8 steps up, Olivia's wheelchair is toppled over on its back. Seat ripped, wheels spread. It's unrecoverable. Olivia is 2 steps further. Halfway onto the next ledge, her arms reach out for the next one. Olivia! Olivia stops and slowly looks back. It's a look of shock and humiliation at being seen like this. She turns back and starts pulling herself up the next step. Damn it, Olivia. I take a step up and catch myself. It's a wonder she's gotten even this far. Shit. But I find my balance and start marching up towards her. Her arms slip on the ledge and she falls back. I caught her in my arms from behind. I didn't make it. She looks up at me, eyes still filled with tears. I carefully set her down on one of the steps. She hides her face in her palms. I failed Latican. Olivia chokes back a sob. I'm just a stupid fuck up. Fucking chair. And then continues to weep. I sit there and stare for a moment, trying to figure out what to do. I really haven't been in a situation like this. The poor girl is shaking. Rather it's from the cold or her situation, I don't know. Instinctively, I wrap my arms around her and pull her close to me. Olivia shifts her body accordingly, and we end up in an embrace. Her sobbing calms down to just occasional hiccups, and her body is no longer sapping the heat from me either. I'm sorry, Inko. Sorry for what? Everything. Being an asshole, being a failure, making you waste your time on me. I'm just awful. Don't say that. I love you. That's what I wanted to say. Now isn't the time. I'm your friend. You know that. I'm here for you in the same way you're here for me. Olivia breaks away from our hug. Her face is tear-stained, but she isn't crying anymore. She's looking down at her wheelchair. Do you have a spare at home? No. I stand up and look at the stairs towards the fountain and back to Olivia. I can call Liz if you want. She can come pick us up after we're done. We can worry about your chair then. You're not a failure, Olivia. We're getting you to that fountain. I reach my hand towards her. Olivia's confusion erodes into a soft smile. She stares at my hand and then back at me. Come lower. Let me grab your shoulder. I've done this a few times before. I lean in closer and Olivia pivots as best she can. Once more, she uses her tail as an anchor in place for her legs. It's holding her up pretty well. Never considered it, but that tail must be pretty muscular. Let's go. I want to make Laticam proud. I climb the next step, planting my foot on solid ground. Olivia waits for me to stop before quickly moving her tail to the next step as well. It's sort of like we're each one leg. Simple enough. But only now occurs to me how close we are right now. By close, I mean practically cradling Olivia against my side. Up another step. Eventually, we finally make it to the top. I manage to shuffle to the fountain. You can just put me down right here. All right. I gently lower Olivia down and place her on the lip of the fountain. There's just enough space for her to sit along the edge. Sorry, my voice keeps going in and out. With one leg resting on top and the other hanging off. She looks into the still water in contemplation. My eyes follow hers, focusing on the coins that have settled at the bottom of the fountain, though hard to see through the opaque ice. I've stuffed my hands in my pockets for warmth, feeling the skin of my knuckles starting to split already. My fingers trace over the quarters I'd usually use for our lunchtime drinks. Chick! Powerful sneeze draws me away from my meandering thought to see the Gator girl quivering in the cold, concrete seat. Damn it. Her jaws clench tight, baring her sharp teeth to the world. Her nostrils flare with each of her breaths. Hot air creating a puff of visible mist. And her eyes are filled to the brim with the fiery rage and salty tears. I want to break the silence between us. Ask for her thoughts. She's deep within them, though, raging within her own mind, finally waving the moment to process everything that's happened. In the end, it's Olivia that breaks the silence with a single quiet, disdain-filled curse. Damn it. Her eyes shut, keeping her tears from falling. Damn it. Hiss seeps through her lips. I made it. I finally made it, but... The thought goes unfinished. She lets her shoulders down and turns her gaze away from the spouting water, listlessly gazing towards the obscure afternoon sun that just managed to peek through the clouds and snow-covered trees. Maybe she's imagining that's where he is now? But what now? I withdraw my hand from my pocket, holding it open for her to see the pocket change in my palm. Scanning over the water feature before us, I think back to all the times I wanted to do just this with someone else. How about we make a wish? Olivia's brows furrow as she glances off to the side. Her fingers grip her hoodie and I watch her consider my suggestion thoroughly. Sure, a wish sounds nice right now. I motion her forward. The Gator girl holds a hand out to me and I drop a quarter into her palm. On 3. I nod and reply. 1, 2, 3. A wish for. Our twin coins flip in the air together. I watch as the coins spin skyward, crashing through the falling snowflakes. At their apex, the coins seem to pause, just to briefly touch one another. And with the synchronized plop, both of the quarters hit the water together. Leaning forward, I see that the coins even landed on the same side, heads. Wonder if that'll double our chance of making our wishes come true or something. I let out a huff in amusement from Olivia's comment. Though the more I think about it, the more I hope it does. We stay there looking at the fountain together in silence. For a moment, it feels as though time has stopped around us. It's just me and Olivia experiencing the moment together. It almost makes me forget what had just transpired, what we were dealing with, and what kind of future the two of us were looking at. For this moment, though, none of those dreadful thoughts mattered. What matters right now is finding a small bit of peace, of solace. A little bit of calm before the storm that was inevitably coming. A harsh wind chill finally brings Olivia and I out of our thoughts. Hey, I'm sorry for being super distant earlier. You don't have to apologize for that, Olivia. Everyone goes through these sorts of things differently. I know, but I just feel bad. I know I'm not the only one who's sad about Latican is gone, but her pause makes me stop and turn around to face her. I'm gonna lose my voice again. I can see it in her face that she's trying to form the right words. Latican was the first person who I felt was a role model for me. He didn't just believe in me. He made me believe in myself, not just for my art, but for being able to succeed in general. I knew that Latican meant a lot to her, but I never realized he meant that much to her. More than anything, he actually cared about me. And my thoughts and my dreams. I felt. Olivia's lips trembled as she struggled to voice the thought. Normal. God, I probably sound stupid saying that. I shake my head in disagreement. You don't. Mr. Latican was important to me as well. It's okay, Olivia. I know how you feel. He gave me some of the best advice I've ever gotten from anyone, and encouraged me to follow my dreams like you. I wish I had met him sooner. There was a moment of silence between us, the air filled with a mix of sympathetic emotions. A shared sadness for the passing of someone who's made an impact in both of our lives, but a sense of thankfulness that he graced our lives. Guess we both got our issues, huh? Yeah, I guess so. A fresh breeze of icy air sends a shudder down my spine. So, what should we do now? I pat off the growing pile of snow on my shoulders and head. Let's see. I look at my phone. School's ending in 10 minutes. Do you want to just chill here until then? No pun intended. Sure. I look around, noticing a tiny bench for two nestled against a tree. The Gator girl must have noticed, and she's already holding her arm out to me. I recall something, a certain pair of raptors. I kneel down, facing away from Olivia. I can feel the icy flakes melt off of me as Olivia leans against me again. Her powerful arms wrap around my shoulders, clawed fingers digging into my jacket. My fingers lock together to form a makeshift seat for her behind me. With my passenger secured, I make a beeline for the bench. This is where we're gonna leave it. We'll get the romance next time. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I know I'm an ass. See you guys. I do need to rest my voice. Sorry, everyone. Bye.